I love how StreamYard says it's showtime. Well, they don't say it. It just like I can read it on the screen. I don't know. I always want to be like, it's showtime. Right, hold on. I got to mute here we go. All right. So good morning, all. I am working on taking a label off from a box on something I sold. I can't find a box that will work, so I got to reuse a box, which I don't like doing because it's an Amazon shipment, actually. I sold, what did I sell? Right here. I sold one of these Munchkin Kids. I got a ton of these 2 years ago on clearance at Walmart, and I've been hanging on to them. And I finally sold one. And I actually, when I did my inventory this year, I scanned a bunch of stuff that I've been having listed on. I can't even talk today. I scanned a bunch of stuff that I had listed on eBay because when I bought them, the price tanked so bad on them, which happens when you buy Walmart clearance items. So I hung on to it and just did FBM because I didn't want to send it in. I've learned my lesson when it comes to clearance items. You send them in, the price tanks, and you either got to tank with it or you're stuck sitting on or paying for inventory fees, storage fees. So I usually will FBM them. Well, a ton of stuff I sent in, but those still weren't profitable. So I'm really surprised it ended up shipping FBM. But I wanted to show you guys, because I know I did it on Monday, how much it was going to cost to ship it with the new discounted rates that Amazon provides. So I know on Wednesdays I don't normally ship items, which I got everything shipped, packaged, not shipped, already packaged this morning, except for this one item. Gosh, I don't like reusing a box, but at least it's an Amazon box. So how's everyone doing this morning? I'm going to see if this will be too heavy. I mean, like the box, box is pretty big. I thought I bought a 6-pack of tape and it came in a 4-pack. So I got to double check. Maybe I changed my mind and ended up with a 4-pack. Stitch it. Good morning. All right, let me see how much this weighs. Because if I'm already over a pound with the box, I'm just going to go with, I'm over a pound. I'll probably just go priority, put it in a priority box then. Although, pretty sure when I was pricing it, it doesn't weigh, on its own, it doesn't weigh that much. Where's my Amazon page? Let's see. So I haven't sent any yet. I sold it for $25. I paid $5 for it. So we'll see. I don't know. All right. I guess I'll do it later because I got to get a box. Well, let me do it now. I wanted to show you guys. Oh, but if I use a priority box, now that I'm changing my mind, I'm just going to put in, let me share my screen with you guys and I'll show you. Watching your channel and another. There you go. Double duty. How can you do that? How can you listen to 2 people at one time? Not so bad if I was watching, like, I watch Brian Christopher who plays slots. So I could like watch his channel because I can just watch. I don't have to listen. But it would be really hard. So I'm just going to put in 1 pound, 1 ounce. That's about what that weighed with that other box. And I got to put in dimensions, don't I? I just want to show you guys the difference in pricing. Let's see. What if I used this eBay box? Well, I guess I can measure this. It's going to cost more than that, though, because by the time I put packing in, would that fit? I don't think that'll fit in a 7 box. Let's see. 11. Let's just say 9, 6. 11, 9, and 6. I'm just going to put those in to see. 11, 9, 6. Because I think it's going to probably end up going UPS. Oh, there's no good price for UPS. UPS, oh, that's next day. UPS second day is $20. UPS ground. All right, so there's a discount, $9.87, but it would still be cheaper to go $9.12 to go priority. All right, so it's not cheaper for me to go UPS, so I will use a post office box. So a priority mailbox, not a post office box, but a USPS supplied box. So, hey, good morning, all. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Laura, how are you doing today? I know I wanted to touch base with you and Jeanette on Monday, and I didn't. Yeah, I left here and went upstairs. So just an update for those who were on my show, in the chat on Monday. My husband had gone to the chiropractor and he ended up coming home. The chiropractor couldn't really do anything because every time he tried to do anything to my husband, he was just in so much pain. Normally he goes to the chiropractor and finds relief, but not this time. So he called the VA on Monday because the chiropractor said pretty much you need to get an MRI. And he told him that like 3 weeks ago, he had an issue with his back, went to the chiropractor a couple sessions and he felt much better. And at that time, the chiropractor said, you really should get an updated MRI on your back. So he called the VA to say, hey, listen, I really need to get an updated MRI on my back. So he used to get nerve block shots in his back. And at one time they were going to go in and surgically burn the nerve endings or something like that. But I don't know why that ended up not happening. So he called the VA and they called him back yesterday morning and they said, go to the ER. And because we don't have a VA hospital close to us. So they said, go to the ER. So I was at PT when he called me. So I left there, came home, grabbed him, brought him to the hospital, which I couldn't go in with him. So I dropped him off, came back home because I figured it's probably going to be at least like 3 hours, which it was. And he kept calling me. He's like, well, they gave me some tramadol. They gave him a shot of painkiller. And he goes, it did nothing at all for him. No pain relief, nothing. And then he says, I really need an MRI. That's what the VA sent me here for. And they said, well, we don't do MRIs unless it's life-threatening, which isn't that odd? And the guy says they only do about 1 MRI a day. So they wouldn't do an MRI. And they pretty much said, well, there's nothing more we can do for you. We'll give you a prescription for some lidocaine back patches and sent him home. So he's upstairs. He can't, it hurts him so much to even get up to go to the restroom. I don't know. He's hoping to hear back from the VA today and maybe they can, I don't even know who does MRIs around here. They told him to go to like a third party, like an outpatient. I can't remember the exact words because of course I wasn't there and my husband never remembers things correctly, but I don't even know who does that around here, which I probably need to look that up. So they really do need to do some type of imaging to see what's going on because something is not right. And, he's had a lot of back problems after 32 years in the military, lifting missiles and bombs and putting the missiles up on an F-16 or an A-4 or whatever he was working on, as well as lifting bombs. And they have these devices that help them, but there's still an incredible amount of heavy lifting above your head. And over time, that has definitely done damage to his back. So he said it really started happening when he was in Iraq and they would have to take cover. And, they were out on the flight line and mortars and stuff were coming in and you would have to literally dive out of the way and all that kind of stuff. But either way, he does not get compensation for his back from the VA, which is kind of odd. So I don't know, but whatever. I got my drink, so I need to take a sip already. I can feel my throat always getting so dry when I talk. Must be down here. Maybe I need to put a humidifier in down here. So yeah, Laura says it makes no sense they did not do an MRI. I know, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know. All right, so I do have a PSA. I wanted just to kind of bring up. It has nothing to do with reselling, and then we'll just talk about reselling. I don't really have any topics to specifically talk about today related to reselling because I did so much talking, 3 hours on Monday, which is, I don't know. Sometimes I disconnect from you guys and I'm like, did I just talk for 3 hours? Like, what did I even say? Monday shows are always a long one though. All right, so a PSA. Because my husband is a veteran, this has, again, nothing to do with reselling. I'll say it and then I'll move back to reselling, which actually I haven't even talked to reselling really, except for the Amazon package. But I don't know if you guys knew, my son sent me a message that the House and Congress voted on a bill that would help veterans who were exposed to the burn pits in Iraq and Afghanistan. Specifically, I think Iraq is where most of them were. Well, I unfortunately know 3 people, personally 3 people. I worked for the Army Guard in Vermont for quite a few years and dealt with a lot of spouses. My job was to train the volunteer network that would help when people are deployed, that would be there to help the family members, um, be the go-between between the military in the field when they had to get messages to the family. Not thankfully not like, there's been a death, but I didn't notify the families of somebody who died, but I would notify the families of people who, through a roundabout way through the volunteer network, let them know that somebody else's family had passed, that type of thing. So I got to know a lot of the spouses in the Army Guard, and we had a lot of deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan. And, they were gone for a year at a time. And unfortunately, we had a lot of fatalities. But I became really close with some of these people, and 3 of them have lost their spouses since returning from Iraq because of cancer. These are people who were very healthy. They were young in their 30s and 40s. I think only one was in their 50s. Everybody else was really young, didn't have any other precursors that would suggest that they would have cancer or get cancer. Of course, who knows, right? I mean, that's the thing that I am, I guess, asking for, is that they put money towards research to find out, is there a link between this? And I think there is. And how is that link? And how can we link it to say it was because of the burn pit and take care of the families? Because one of my really close friends, well, I'm not really close, but I out of the 3 of them, the closest one, she begged and pleaded with the VA to help her husband, and they would not help him. They turned him away, and he died of cancer. He ended up with prostate cancer. I have a friend right now who I worked with at the Army Guard, really, really nice gentleman, and he has been dealing with lymphoma, and he was in remission for a couple years, and it just came back, unfortunately. So they voted on it in the House. It did pass, so it's going to the Senate. But I was so disappointed to see how many Republicans voted no on the bill. Now, I tried to do a lot of reading to find out why they voted no, and it comes down to the money. That's what I really read. Because, unfortunately, bills in Congress, there always is some type of fluff, what they call it, pork or whatever. There's always something where it probably had nothing to do with veterans. Nancy Pelosi wanted some trees in her district, right? Wasn't that part of the, I don't know, one of the bills had to do with trees in her district? Had nothing to do with the bill. And here, there could be something like that. I don't know. I did reach out to Elise Stefanik, who is my representative, and asked her, why did she vote no? Like, is it really just because of money? Because in my opinion, I don't care what the money is. These men and women put their life on the line, sent them to do a job, and they volunteered for that job. That we do not have a draft right now. So these people volunteered to do what they did, but we should be taking care of them when they come home. So that's my soapbox I'm going to get on right now. I'm going to get emotional because I'm so ticked off about it. But it passed. Why am I such a crybaby on here? Ugh. Okay. It passed, so I hope it goes to the Senate. That's it. All right, let's talk reselling so I don't get emotional. Even though I want to pull my hair out for reselling at times. But how is your reselling going? How's everybody doing? How is your eBay? Because my eBay has been really bad, but I also have not been really listing very much. But I will tell you that I had, let me see, I did some listings the other day. Let me see. I can look and count packages behind me, but it would probably take me longer to count not longer, because I got to figure out which ones were eBay. But I was pleasantly surprised. I think maybe I had 6 orders going out today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, six orders going out today, which has been really good for me when it comes to eBay. But I know it has to do with my not listing, because I just have not listed, which I don't know. I really need to, but because I got so much stuff I got to go through. Let me just read some comments here. Hey, good morning, Anissa and Christy. Hello, Christy. I saw you in Victoria's channel, so welcome. She says, I wish my basement was dry. A 1920 basement with a well pump is never dry. Oh, isn't that? We had, growing up, we had always some type of moisture in our basement. I don't know if it was like that old as in 20. I don't know what year our house was built, maybe in the 60s. But yeah, we had a sump pump all the time. In our house in Vermont, we had two sump pumps. We had a sump pump that pumped it to another sump pump that would then pump it outdoors. Thankfully, here we have no water issues. And good morning, Anissa. How sad. My mother in law passed from cancer last February. Now her husband was just diagnosed with prostate cancer. Oh my gosh. My father had prostate cancer and went through radiation and stuff. Yeah, that was tough. That was a tough decision because, the side effects of radiation for prostate cancer usually means that your like sexual drive is pretty much gone. And he did not want to go through it because of that. And we were like, Dad, I'm sure Mom would much rather have you around and not be able to do that for the rest of her in your life than for you to die because of prostate cancer. So we were able to convince him otherwise. Now, hindsight 2020, we probably would not have had him go through it because he actually ended up passing a couple years after that because of Alzheimer's. And I'm not sure if the radiation helped. Sometimes like he had an aortic aneurysm and he had surgery on that. And when he came out of the anesthesia, he was never, ever, ever the same. And we probably would have not have had him do that either. But that's only because it all kind of, I think it made his Alzheimer's progress incredibly quickly. Thanks, Anissa. I appreciate it. I just, I don't know. I think because I have a personal connection to the issue, it makes me a little more, emotional. My father-in-law passed away 30 years ago from Agent Orange cancer from Vietnam. Oh, that's sad. Yeah. I mean, those poor Vietnam veterans, they just were not taken care of like they should have, unfortunately. I'm hoping our country has learned a lesson. I think that, my husband has gotten amazing, amazing care from the VA. We had to fight for it though. I remember calling Bernie Sanders' office because when we lived in Vermont, Bernie Sanders is the representative from Vermont, and calling and saying, hey, you got to help. Like his office was so good at advocating for us, and even got somebody from the Boston. I guess Boston's VA is kind of like regional, where overseas Vermont, and they came up and met with us at the Vermont VA to kind of discuss some issues that were going on, and just were really good. But we had to get an advocate. We had to go through them, and then that when we moved here, we haven't had to reach out because things changed and Congress and whatever, they got more money to the VA. And I actually talked a little bit about it in my travel time chit chat that I'm going to be putting up later this week. And it's just been remarkable that the change in the care that he has gotten has been so, so good. So good. They really reach out more because we don't live next to a VA. So they'll send my husband to a local doctor, right? Yesterday, sending him to the ER. Unfortunately, it's just our hospital is crap here and it doesn't have the mechanisms to handle pretty much anything. They send everybody 3 hours to Burlington, Vermont. But they've been really, really good. Like when he had his heart attack last year, we were in Utah and they sent him to Colorado. They never of course it's a heart attack, but they never batted an eye on, paying the transportation bill. Just remarkable. They were calling him every day on our drive home to see how he was doing. It's just been really, really good care. But I fear if he was to get cancer because of the burn pit, they would help him because he's 100% disabled with other stuff. And so he gets free medical care from the VA. But if he wasn't already disabled, they would just turn him away, which is unfortunate. My goodness, it's been a stressful couple years. Oh, it sure has. It's been crazy. The last year has been really stressful. Thank you, Laura. All right, reselling. My eBay died. 0 sales yesterday and none so far today. I was really surprised that I kept hearing cha-ching yesterday and I'm like, what? And they were all old items that sold. And I'm like, this is pretty good. I sold a Build-A-Bear bear that I had. Now, none of them were high profit items because I was like, all right, anything I should show you guys. Like I sold a Hot Wheels for $9, a Party Light Bird for $12.88. Of course, this is all plus shipping on top of that. Another a Matchbox Jurassic one for $12, which I used to get ungated on Amazon like years ago. That's the last one I have. An Aurora Beagle soft plush, which is so adorable. I paid $1, sold it for 10, so no big deal, right? My daughter gave me a Build-A-Bear that she had that was light orange, and I sold that for 15. Like, so nothing like major, nothing really big. A lot of little sales. Hey, good morning, Holly. Any estate sales going on in your area? Have you been able to get back out there? Because I know in the summertime you seem to be really lucky with having those in your area. Been kind of slow. Had 4 sales this weekend and 1 today. And are you still just doing like the silverware and stuff like that, or have you ventured out into other stuff? Christy says no sales. Let's see. Weekend was good. Just during the week, sales drop. Yeah, my weekends are always good, but I also wonder if it's because it's multiple days. So when I look at what I sold on Monday morning, right, it covers like most of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's 3 days worth of sales, which I think helps. Make sure. The cancer meds is what killed my mother-in-law. It gave her seizure that killed her. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh. Yeah, sometimes they say the treatment is worse, and that's why some people, especially if they've gone through treatment and they're in remission and then they get cancer again, some of them just say, yeah, I'm just gonna, this is it. This is my final straw, because sometimes the treatment is I guess, well, they think it's worse than death, or yeah, worse than death. I don't know. I said to the I was leaving the PT yesterday, and I said to the physical therapist that, I got to go and bring my husband to the ER. I said it's probably going to take 3 or 4 hours. So I thought I was going to be able to still go in with him, because when he had his heart attack, I was able to go in Utah, Colorado, and here in New York, because when we got back, he had to go back to the hospital for some checkups, and they let me in, but they wouldn't let me in yesterday, so I didn't know. But I said, I don't know, 4 hours sitting in an emergency room or doing taxes, because I was supposed to do work on my mom's taxes and then keep working on mine. And I said, I don't know what's worse, sitting in an emergency room or doing taxes. Like, they're both pretty bad. Good morning, Jane. So there's a big one tomorrow, an estate sale. My guy has been doing sales almost every week. I'm selling patterns, books, and other smalls. There you go. Other smalls is good. I have been doing, again, so much more reading. Yesterday, I stumbled upon a YouTube video. I can't remember the name of the channel, but let me see if I can find it, because I'll share it with you guys. But it talked about doing digital planners and printables and all that kind of stuff. Just gonna see if I can find her channel name, just in case anybody else is interested in it. Passive Income Girl is the name of her channel, Passive Income Girl. So I watched her video, and they were talking about, like, if they were to start over, what would they do? And those are the ones I like, because these are people who are already in the business, and they're pretty much telling you, like, hey, this is what I learned along the way. This is what you should do. So I watched that video, and it got me down into a rabbit hole of so many other videos and websites. I clicked on all the links that were in her description of that video, checked them all out, came down to, she was talking, now, first of all, she does like $10,000 in sales. She says at least 5 figures every single month in sales. When it comes to digital planning, you pay for your time, and if you've hired people from Upworks or things like that up front, of course you got like Canva, or your software if you're using like Adobe InDesign or stuff like that, right? Those are some expenses you have. But once you create something that's a digital product, whether it be some people just do like SVG files. So they'll create a graphic, make it into SVG, and then people with Crickets or whatever, they'll download those. I did some in the mug press came out from Cricut last year, I designed some mug presses that people could download and then put it onto their Cricut and then put it into the Cricut mug press. And I sold a few of those, not a lot. I don't know. I kind of dabbled with it. And then I decided, again, like everything, right? I decided, I don't want to do that. I probably should go back and visit it. It was just a hot topic because the mug press had just come out. But you could do that. You make it once and it can sell over and over and over again. I sell Poshmark closet like graphics in one of my Etsy stores. So you just create these graphics that people, because some people, which I tried at one time with Poshmark, maybe if I had a smaller store and didn't have over 1,000 items, they'll have something that says shirts, tops. They'll have like graphics that go with different themes within their store, or maybe ones that say make me an offer or whatever. People will buy those. So you create them once, put them on Etsy and whatever. So those are what digital products are. And so I was watching that, and she was talking about how when she first started, she took a course. And I know I've talked about courses on here and whether they're good or bad a few times. And I'm really on the verge of joining one of these courses and taking it. And I said to my husband last night, I said, do you think I should do it? I think it's like $329. I said, she really likes it. But the problem is she has an affiliate link to it. So of course people are going to say they liked it and got a lot from it because they're going to make money off from you buying that course. And that's kind of what they were talking about on this whole show was they make money off from their printables, but they make more money off from selling the courses to make the printables. They make more money off from one of them, there was a panel of 3. One of them created her own course on making printable stickers. And so a lot of it, she says, and I think I mentioned this on Monday, I don't know, but she was talking about how, a lot of her sales from her digital products are her like students that take her course will then go and buy, because she'll give like additional discounts to people who have paid for her course. But so I'm like, well, is it really going to give me what I need? Because I have bought a course in the past about bundling, and I really felt like I already knew most of the stuff that it shared with me, that I just didn't really feel like it was really fully worth it. And the stuff that I really needed help with, it didn't touch on. And one of the courses I was looking at, they said that they're not going, and I ended up not even like keeping that window open. So on my computer upstairs, I got 2 courses on the windows open because I'm trying to decide which one to do. But there was a third one, and she talked about how she's not going to talk about Etsy SEO or like even marketing or all these other things. And I'm thinking, well, that's kind of what I need to help with. I don't feel like I need to help with designing the items. Although when it comes to digital planners, I would like some help on figuring out how to do that in, what was the name of the software? I don't know. But I told my husband, I said, as he's like, just woke up laying in bed, and I go in to use the restroom. So I'm like, hey, I was just watching this video and I'm thinking about buying this course. But I know I could probably find all of the information for free on YouTube. Do I want to take the time to find it on YouTube, or do I want to just all right there in one batch right there, go right through it? So I'm really debating on whether or not I want to buy that course, because that's really where I want to go with my business. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Anybody have taken a course? Now, Laura, I know you've taken a course before, and I think you feel like you got a lot out of it. Like it's really jumpstart your business. And that's what one of the people was saying in this, was that when you pay for something, it's almost like paying for a gym membership, right? If you don't use the gym membership, or if you go, like if you do Weight Watchers, and if you don't actually follow the program, then you're kind of wasting your money. So it's something about doing a program is something that's going to kind of force you and make you to go do something. The problem with me, that hasn't always worked. I think it does work for some people, but one time, maybe it was about 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, it was actually February 14th, Valentine's Day. Weight Watchers had this special. It was a really, really good deal, but it was like love yourself, give a gift to yourself on Valentine's Day, and you could prepay for like 6 months, and it was a really, really good deal. So I was like, this is what I need. I'm going to do it. I'm going to follow it. I think I lasted like a month, but I had prepaid it. So I couldn't just stop my thing because I had already prepaid. And the rest of the time, all the way for 6 months, did nothing with it. So that didn't really work for me. So I don't know if it would help. Laura says, does the course have a money back guarantee? I don't know if it does. I don't know. Did the one you take have that? I'm pretty sure my first one did not have that. The first course I took, the bundling course. I don't know. I'll have to look. And the other thing is, like, it has testimonials, but they're not going to put a bad testimonial. Excuse me. They're not going to put a bad testimonial on their website. The other thing is, they could tell somebody, because I see it in the Amazon review world all the time. I'm going to give you this class for free if you write a review for me. Or, it's their best friend, so they're writing a review. Or you can put anybody's name in a picture and write a review. When I created my Shopify store, I went to Etsy and I took a bunch of reviews that were really good, and I copy and pasted them and put them in my store as a review. I didn't put the 1-star review in there because that 1 star I didn't deserve. But yeah, so I mean, you can manipulate that stuff so much. So Christy says, I've always found courses to be a ripoff. Personally, I run away unless it's a college credit course. I know, and that's how I've kind of have felt. I have felt that way. But I do really feel like there's times when people, and I think we talked about the Bearded Pickers course the other day, but there's times when if you've got knowledge and you can help somebody who's getting started or just needs to learn something, and you can consolidate that and give it into like an educational plan format, I think that is good. Now, there are courses out there that I think are just complete ripoffs, but I also think there are some courses that are really, really beneficial. I really do. And especially if you're the type of person who needs that structure. And that's where I'm kind of trying. I feel like I'm all over the place all the time. I keep going here, here, and here, and here. And I'm feeling like maybe a course would get me just like, that's it. This is what I'm focusing on. This is what I'm going to do. The thing is, a lot of the courses that I've looked at, and last year I took some courses that really just kind of more got you thinking about it. There were some free courses, and then after the free sessions, like a lot of them will do for like the week, right? Monday through Thursday, usually they'll have an hour a day where they're kind of talking to you, kind of get you thinking. And then at the end on Thursday, they're going to pretty much convince you to buy their course to go further with your thoughts. And I've done those, but the problem is some of the courses, they're talking all digital, like getting you to think about all digital, where I want to go down a specific alley of digital. Like I want to tell me digital planners, and I want you to show me how I'm going to do a digital planner, like start to finish, walk me through it. And I don't want it to cover all digital products because there's such an array. Like there are people who sell crochet patterns, right? Like I don't want to take a class where you're going to talk to me about crochet patterns because I have no interest in that, and I don't know how to create that because I don't crochet. So I don't even know how to create a pattern like that. So I really want one that's specific. And these two that I'm looking at are very specific. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So I think today what I'll probably do is look at YouTube videos a little bit more to see if I can find it for free, and then decide whether or not I want to pay. I don't know. So I mean, I feel like I'm really good at investigating stuff, so finding those videos that are free versus some people just aren't really good at finding that, and they just want hey, just give it to me right here in this plan. So I don't know. And that's how I felt with the bundling class. After I took it, I was like, yeah, most of the stuff I could have easily found and had found online. So, I have done one course that was great. I took a second course that stunk. Okay. I think I know the one course you said that was good. I'm not sure if I know of the second course. Were they both on bundling? Because did you take BD's course? I just searched for free info on YouTube. Yeah, that's what I think. Or buy a textbook. I don't find textbooks as well for me. Most textbooks are outdated. Um, but buying a textbook isn't much different than somebody who's selling a course. So, let's see. I have paid for several courses on reselling. The best thing is that it's knowledge that you always have access to. I found it helpful. Yeah, I think some of it is really, really good. Like I've been actually debating on taking oh, what's the CPA accountant person there? Not the flipping accountant. There's that other one. He's got a course you can take that is for resellers and taxes. And I would bet that is a really, really good course to take. For somebody just starting out reselling, it's probably a really good course. And I've been thinking about taking it, but then I'm like, well, I feel like I really have a good grasp on it. I'm not sure if I would really learn anything, but it could be good info for me to have to then do a video on or something like that, which I feel like it's a good video that I put a PowerPoint presentation together. That was my teacher and me coming out on taxes for resellers. So find that video on this if you're interested in that kind of information. Bearded Pickers courses for beginners. Yeah, Lisa took. I don't think Lisa's in here yet today. She took that the first time around. I debated on taking that class because I just love picking his brain. I decided not to because I feel like it's just a little more advanced than probably what I would learn. But I have no doubt that I would probably even learn something. It's just whether or not if I would learn what the cost of it is versus, foregoing that little bit of knowledge that I probably would have gotten. But I think somebody starting out reselling, probably only because I know Scott from watching his channel, I feel like he probably would give you really good information. But I don't know. I mean, there are people who continually keep buying his course that go over and over and over again. I think he learns as he's going along, so he's added more as he's gone along and fixed things. So, hey, good morning, Cynthia. Maybe ask if you can review it for less money. Yeah, and I know they have the affiliates. So if I took a course and I really liked it, right? Because I don't know if the course I took has an affiliate program, but if it did, I probably wouldn't recommend it, even if it had an affiliate. Um, and I think that's where I kind of am bothered by this one person that person I was telling you, the passive income girl. I mean, did she really like every single course that she paid for? Because she's got affiliates to so many courses, and she said she took them all. So I'm wondering if, I guess if you're touting too many of them, it's kind of like, I don't know, are they really honest, or do you just want to make money off of it? I don't know. Good morning, Beth, reseller rowboat. How are you? I thought of you this morning. So did you know on Facebook, not you, but I talked to everybody, not just you, Beth, but on Facebook, I'm going to show you guys. I don't know if you knew this. One of the things I have complained about, all right, it may have been here. One of the things I've complained about is on Facebook, see where up here it says your feed, favorites, and recent? There you go. I don't know. Is that new? Because for some reason I saw it this morning and I was like, what's this? Favorites. And it says you can add people to your favorites. So one of the things I wish you could do on Facebook is exclude all of the pages, the groups, all that stuff that you follow, and just have actual people and be able to just look at what they post. Because if you go down here, you can click on groups, right? And you can read posts just from the groups that you belong to. Well, I want just humans. That's all I want, humans, so I can see what my friends are up to. Because the way the algorithm is, the more you interact with people, the more they populate in your newsfeed. So if I'm friends with Holly, which I am on Facebook, I don't know how often you post, Holly, but I never see posts from you on Facebook. Because if I'm not interacting with you, then it's not going to populate in my feed. Well, today I went to favorites and I was like, what is this? And it said you can add people as a favorite. So when I'm going like this, I can actually see those people that I added as a favorite and see their post. So I clicked and your name came up, Beth, because Beth and I are Facebook friends. But it only let you do 30 people. And I was already at 30. So I couldn't follow everybody. So now I got to go back and I might have to take some people off to add some other people on. But I want to follow just my, like, I want to see just my friends post. That's all. It just annoys me. But so I thought of you this morning when I was doing that. So you're listening while driving. Oh, the price of gas, huh? Gosh. Yesterday when I was at the hospital with my husband, I was like, "Oh, we got a quarter of a tank of gas. I should get gas." I never did stop and get gas, and I bet you the price has gone up. So my point to you guys, my tip is when your gas is at least half a tank, stop and get gas. Don't wait until the next day because the gas keeps going up every single day. And I'm sure it went up overnight since the announcement of not buying Russian oil. So I'm like, oh, I should have got gas yesterday. But I was hoping to go to the Indian reservation this week and I was going to get gas there. But I think I might have to get gas before then now because at least it would be cheaper there. It stinks. So Holly says courses can give you info, but can also inspire you creatively. That's where I'm really hoping. I'm really hoping maybe it would just keep me focused too. I don't know. Mommy's income course is great. Ecom empowerment with Jess Hill was not worth it. See, and Jess is like left the scene. She's not even doing it anymore, which I don't know. Seems like she had quite the empire there, but she backed off from it. That's too bad to hear about her. I've watched her videos. Jess's videos always got really low views, which always surprised me. When she would go live, she would have like 2 or 3 people in there. I've heard really good thing about Mommy Income's course. Yeah. I've not heard anything bad at all. There goes my my cough I always have when I'm talking. I took the Beater Pickers course this past quarter 4 just to support the people in there. Really good about sharing bolos to help pay for the course. Nice, very nice. Yeah, I was so close to joining. Actually the quarter 4 one was the one. I think if I lived in a better area where if I got a bolo, like I know we got a friend who shares bolos for Target, and I'm like, I don't have a Target. I got to drive 2.5 hours to hit Target. I think that if I had more varieties of stores around me, then being in those types of groups where you're going to get bolos, as well as other knowledge, I think would be really good because it would be nice to be able to say, "Oh, great, got a bolo. I'm gonna go take advantage of that bolo to help pay for the course." Because a lot of times that's what you can do. There's stuff you can get. Like I was so I was looking at an Etsy shop yesterday, and I'm like, why does that Etsy shop have like on the top you can feature items in your store, so you click on specific things and 4 of them are featured, and I'm thinking why they had like a whole group, like their whole category was featured, like planners, stickers, whatever, digital planners, printable planners, and then it said like 23 items underneath it, and I thought, how do you get that? So I had to do some research and found out there's a thing called Etsy Plus, which I didn't even know about, but it's $15 a month. I think that's what it was. But you get ad credit, and there was something else you get. And they said that by the time you added in the credit things, almost like when you upgrade an eBay store and then you get your shipping credit, it turned out that it actually is only going to cost you like $3, $2.50 or $3 a month. If you take advantage of the ads. So if you're already doing ads, why would you not just upgrade? Because it gives you more flexibility in how you can design your Etsy store. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, sometimes you can get extra benefits that help pay for whatever it is that you're getting. Don't exclude my earth-shattering, exciting post. I'm pretty sure, Anissa, you are on, because honestly, I put in A and I looked at the names that came up and I clicked names and then I put B and that's why I saw you, I saw Beth, and I added you. So you guys, I'm pretty sure are on my top list. And then when I went to C, I clicked on somebody. Oh, I think it was Carlene, who's used to be, I haven't seen her for a while. I clicked on Carlene and it said, you've reached your 30 people or whatever. And I'm like, damn, now I got to go back to the A's and B's and see who to take out. I didn't include my husband because I already talked to him, so I don't think he ever even posts. So why put on people who don't even post? So like I excluded him. Don't tell him. I don't post anything, just interact with groups and others. Oh, okay. That's probably why I never see your post. Probably because the non-people post make them money. Yeah, that's probably why you get to see those on Facebook more. Well, but you'd still see ads. I mean, the ads is really what makes them money. Morning, what are the odds the IRS is going to increase the mileage rate to compensate? Oh my gosh, John, I had that conversation last week with my husband when we were traveling to Syracuse. I'm like, why haven't they increased it even all last year? It did not go up. It's the same, like 58.5 cents or something like that. I don't know. It should be like 80 cents right now. 80 cents a mile. You should be your mileage write off. That is a very good question. Yeah, maybe I'll ask Elise Stefanik that. I should see if she replied to my message because I sent her an email today. I ripped her a new one. Maybe not. Uh-oh. Printful just sent me an invoice. Please see the invoice for shipment. Uh-oh, wait, did I get a sale? No. It's mine. I ordered a shirt. That's weird that they sent me an invoice. Wait a minute. That's interesting. I never paid the invoice, which reminds me. So I'm doing the print on demand. I need to print and sign the state form so I don't have to do pay sales tax. I sent it to them, but I didn't sign it because I didn't have the ability upstairs to print it. I was too lazy to come down. They rejected it, saying you got to sign it. So I got to sign that. I also need to let me get a piece of paper. I got to write this down. I need a piece of paper. All right, let me put Printful. Oh, which by the way, Holly, thank you for my notes here is about the YouTube channels you mentioned on Monday, Lunch with Norm and my Amazon guy. I ended up subscribing to their channels. Printful, ST120, and then I need to do my state sales tax. That's due in March for last year. So I need to look and see when that is due because it could possibly be like today or tomorrow. Except Scott BP would always get to bolos before me. Yes. Oh, I would love to know where he finds his bolos. Like, how is he getting them? Because he seems to get some really good ones. I didn't know about Etsy Plus. I would check it out. I know, Dee. Hey, good morning, by the way. Yeah, I had never heard of it. And there was 2 Etsy stores that I stumbled upon yesterday that I was like, well, how are they getting this set up? And I did a search on I did like a Google search and it didn't come up. So I actually I belong to Kara Button's Facebook group and I did a search in there for featured categories because that's the difference is featured items for regular Etsy and featured categories for Etsy Plus. And I saw somebody talk about it and there was a whole string of conversations. So I'm like, okay, that explains that's where it comes from. So then I did a search for Etsy Plus now that I knew what it was called and saw the benefits right on Etsy. It talks about it. So yeah. I don't do any Etsy ads. I've found them not beneficial for me. I do the offsite ads, which are, not on Etsy, but the ones like when you do a search on Etsy and it comes up almost like promoted ads for eBay. I just find they're not because it's pay per click. And I find it's just people click, don't buy. And I don't know. There's times I click purposely. I purposely because I know it's going to cost them money. Is that bad of me? All right. I didn't know about Etsy. Good morning, Doyle Warehouse. How is the West Coast doing? Are you guys what considered Pacific time in Idaho, or are you Mountain time? I'm just teasing. What are you teasing about? What did I miss? Oh, that I follow you? I do. I'm almost positive I followed you because you start with an A. I'm almost positive. You're one of my favorites. Plus, I honestly, I don't even need to follow you because I interact on you enough that you always pop up anyhow without me calling you a favorite. Maybe that's the trick. Maybe I need to put people on my favorite who I don't already interact with. That way I can go to my news feed and find people that I interact with all the time, like yourself, and then go to um, the favorites, and those are people who I don't interact with. Increase it for tax year 2021, John. It's probably too late for 2021 because people are already filing their taxes, but it would be really nice if they would at least do it for 2022. But it should have gone up for last year because it went down, and I'm almost positive it went down in 2020, didn't it? Just a little bit. So it should have. I mean, it may have gone up like a penny in 2021, but it definitely should have gone up again. Might just a few cents. It has to pass Congress. Yeah, I don't think it's much though for them to pass that. I should definitely follow up with that. Think about giving yourself a budget to learn about digital planners, spend and learn. Yeah, I think that's it. And so one of the articles I was reading yesterday talked about, well, they say that like there's a free, so for instance, like Canva, right? Canva is used by a lot of people who do digital things. And they were saying how you can use the free version of Canva, but if you're really going to get into the business, it's worth it to do the Canva Pro. And they were saying how there's a free publishing software you can download for free, but they're like, but if you're really serious, then subscribe to, Adobe InDesign or Affinity something. I can't even remember what it's called. Affinity Publishing, maybe. Which I think that's the one I'm looking at, because that one is just you pay like $59 one time upfront cost and you own the software, versus InDesign you got to pay a monthly fee. And I've heard InDesign is extremely difficult to learn, and I just don't want to take the time to learn for the learning curve. I just want to get into something, and I'm pretty technology savvy, so I probably could learn it, but it just really takes me being not distracted. And I feel like lately I'm so distracted with stuff. So it'd be hard for me to really focus on it. But I love like Excel and formulas and all, like I love learning that stuff. I loved learning it. I probably have lost most of it, like the what ifs and all that. I love doing that stuff. I've actually even thought about creating digital, and I know there's some people who have some available, I think even for free, I've seen through the years, but creating a digital product for resellers, for people who are still just doing spreadsheets for tracking your expenses. Like if you're a small reseller and you're worried about the $600, you don't want to pay for GoDaddy or QuickBooks or things like that, because you might be like, I'm only going to sell about 1,000 a year. But if you could pay $5 and download a software that already has all these formulas, maybe tabs at the bottom for each month, and you can just put in your information and um, it all feeds into the tab at the end that you could use for taxes. I've thought about doing something like that. I've also, if eBay would stop changing their download format, because they've changed it a couple times over the last year, being able to take the eBay report from managed payments and you download it, put it in a tab, and it would automatically take all that information and put it into a more usable format for you for what you need for taxes. So I thought about doing that too, but every time they would change just by adding a column or changing the name of one, it messes up with the report. So I'd have to redo it each time. And then whoever bought it from me it wouldn't work, and they would have to get the new version of it. They would have to know to reach out to me to get the new version. So I don't know. I've kind of I've gone back and forth about that. So, Mountain Standard Time. I thought maybe you were in the mountain. Alrighty. Oh, you're back home now. Where'd you go? What'd you go do this morning, Beth? What's on your agenda for running around today? Burning up all that expensive gas, $4 plus dollar a gallon gas. So, what's everybody doing to save money on gas? How many of you have cut back on sourcing, or just driving around? Like, one of the things, you took your wife to work. There you go. Well, that's good. That's important. You got to get to work. So I live in a very Amish area, in one of the local Facebook groups. I don't know if it was like the news station or whatever had posted, like, what are you doing to save gas? And somebody says, I'm going to buy a horse and buggy off the Amish. And I thought, well, that's not so bad. If it's in the summer, it's not bad. But man, I see them on Sunday mornings when they're heading off to go to their church. And it is bitter, bitter, bitter cold with the wind blowing. Oh my gosh. I feel for them so bad in their buggies. And some of them don't have covers on their buggies. So they're like all bundled. They had one time I saw them, the wife and the husband were each holding an umbrella, and they cut a slit like this in the umbrella so they could see out of it. And they were holding the umbrellas in front of both of them to block the wind. And I'm thinking, how can you see anything? You're literally just driving your horse with this much is what you're looking out of. And they have got to have been so cold, so cold. But as my doctor told me last week, Tamara, they make winter jackets and gloves. I told him how I don't like to go out and exercise, do anything outdoors in the winter because it's so cold. And he's like, they make winter jackets and gloves. I'm like, I know, geez. But it's still cold. I would literally have to get like one of those, like a bank robber mask where it's just going to have my eyes sticking out because it's so cold. I'd have to get like ski goggles. I don't want any part of me being cold. I don't like the cold. Even though I live up here in the north, I don't like the cold. But I still will take 4 seasons over being so hot in the south. Let's see. There's a couple out there spreadsheets. Something Jeannie, can't remember the full name, does use the download from eBay. Oh, okay. I wonder what that is. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I did start putting together, actually, I don't know if I have it in my Etsy store anymore. By the way, I have not gotten an email back from Elise Stefanik. Not even acknowledging that I sent her an email. Thought they would like have the auto, like, oh, thank you for messaging. We'll get back to you. I wanted to look and see if I have that. I don't know what store it would be in. I think I have a thing called digital downloads. I have 452 sales on Etsy. I'm so happy with that store. And I think I opened it last April. Digital downloads. I got 7 of them. I do not have. No. It must be in a different store. So my daughter's buying a car on Saturday. We're going to go and meet her, but it's 3.5 hours for us to get there. But now she says, supposed to snow 4 to 6 inches on Saturday, which, by the way, you guys, I bought myself an Apple Watch at Christmas time. I really, really like it. Are you both free Friday? I may see if I can switch our appointment to Friday and leave work early. I'm watching your driving vlog from January, and you trying to guess Chance the Rapper's name made me laugh out loud. Oh, I probably shouldn't read it out loud just as I'm reading it because who knows what she's gonna say. That's funny that my daughter is watching my travel time chit chats. That makes me so feel so warm. She's watching me. That's funny. Thankfully, I've taken down some videos I took down a video one time where I was so frustrated with her and her brother. I don't know if anybody was around back then. Oh, I was just trashing them that day on here. As soon as the show ended, I deleted it because I'm like, I don't want them to ever see this. I should watch. Sometimes I just say, I spew out of my mouth whatever I'm thinking. It's not always the best thing for me to do. Just like was a couple weeks ago, I was spewing about a Facebook group. I took that one down too. Yeah. Sometimes I'm not always so proud with what I talk about when I get done a show. Our local Amish have daily drivers to take them to work. Lots of construction crews. Yeah, when we were at the RV show, they were talking about how Indiana is the good old capital of the RV world, and so many of those are Amish, and they have a bus that picks them all up and brings them to work every day. There is a bus around here that I know pick up the Amish and bring them places. I'm not sure where they bring them. I don't know of any Amish that, I don't think any that I know of. Well, first of all, we have hardly any manufacturing left here. We used to have a General Motors that closed. We used to have a Reynolds plant that closed. We have Alcoa, which is steel, but that is like very, very few people even work there anymore. And I know we have a Corning where they make windshields, I think, for fighter jets. But I don't think the Amish work there. But I don't know. I don't know anyone who works there to know. Um, I don't know. When we have the Amish work on our house, a lot of times my husband will go pick them up in the morning and bring them here. Definitely in the wintertime. Last summer, the guy who did our deck, he drove with his horse and buggy. But we're going to have them build a pole barn. And I know it's going to take more than one Amish to do it. And I said to my husband, you should just go pick them up, right? It'd be a lot easier for them. Especially now with the cost of gas, though. Jeez. I might have to think twice about that. If it's windy, I wear a hoodie, no matter the temp. I hate wind in my ears. Really? Wind in your ears? I don't think I've ever really paid attention to that. The only thing I don't like about wind is it blows my hair back and you can see my very receding hairline. I think I was showing you guys last week. Like, oh my, can you see? Look how far back it goes. Like, it's like way back here. When I lost a job, gosh, 15 years ago, maybe? It was a long time ago. The stress of it, I lost so much hair. I really thought I was going to have to go get a wig. And I was hoping when like things settled down that that it would grow back, but it never grew back. But I blame it on the stress from that. Rockstar talks about it. Okay, I'll check. I haven't watched Rockstar in a really long time. Most of his videos have been just like clear clickbait to me. So he's really good for a newbie, but I don't really feel like, I know we were talking on Monday about like reselling 2.0. I don't feel like he's at a 2.0 level, not unless he's changed the things he talks about. I caught the tail end of your conversation about tracking expenses. Hey, good morning, Cynthia. I have a spreadsheet that I downloaded from Ginger Marvin, but I was wondering how y'all track expenses, gas, mailing, supplies. So I do Amazon also. So I have Inventory Lab. And so this is, it's funny, I showed you this piece of paper earlier. So this is from like earlier. So I had I sat down one day and did my expenses for October, November, and December. I started writing down the numbers and then I was like, I'm just going to check off when I've added it. So what I'll do is not monthly, usually every 3 months. I'd like to do it monthly, but here we are in March and I haven't done January, February yet. I use Inventory Lab to track all of my income and expenses. So all of my Amazon stuff is automatically pulled into Inventory Lab, which is amazing because there's just so much stuff with Amazon. And it's the reports feature of Amazon is just incredibly difficult to find anything. But so it pulls it all in and puts it where it needs to go. Well, then what I do, and I have a whole video on this, on me using Inventory Lab. Then they have a whole section where you can put in, let me show you. Just in case anybody on here is a, let me see, let me share this. Just in case anybody on here is a Amazon seller also, I highly, highly recommend Inventory Lab. Like really recommend Inventory Lab. So over here they have this reporting feature. Get away. I'm sorry, accounting. And it has other income. You can track your mileage, other expenses. So if I go into other income, you'll see what I do. Why are you giving me all this? Get away. So you can see right here on Facebook, I made $325 in sales for December. Shopify 104. Etsy, one of my Etsy stores was 4,500. The other Etsy, another Etsy. So I will run the reports for each of those shops and then I'll come in here, and it's so simple. You literally just say add, and I've already like got them kind of put in here. My category is other platforms. So I say other platform, and then the name is whatever the platform is. So Facebook, right? The description is monthly total. So I only put them in monthly. So it's really, really simple to put in here. And I add them all. So you can see here you go, total income 143,000. So I'll put in that, and then it'll say same thing with expenses. Which what I really, really like is you can have it. So for when it comes to your expenses, if you have something that you pay every single month, like for me, Keepa, Cricket, Microsoft, email. These are subscription fees, and I can tell it automatically to repeat every month. So I don't have to go and put that in every single month. But I'll come in here and I'll say, so like see this removal order fees, $1.14. That's automatically populated by Inventory Lab. If anything Amazon related is automatically 30-day storage fees, 81 cents. That's because I have nothing. I have hardly anything in Amazon. But if I have, all right, cost of advertising. So here we go. Etsy Red Barn ads. So I paid $48.40 in January. All right, that's not right. I haven't even put in anything in January yet. All right, so like here's my cost of goods, right? Facebook cost of goods. My Bonanza, Macari. So this is all stuff I hand enter after I run my reports and figure everything out. I'll put that in here. So you can see total expenses of 134. I don't know what that, oh, that must only be by whatever the, so if I put in, so you can do it from like all last year. Let's do January 2021. And let's put it to December 2021. Search. So there, my total expenses for last year were 48,000. So it'll pull all that in there for me. And then you can actually run reports that will show you your profit and loss. Now, no, this isn't all correct because I'm still working on putting in information. All right, so this, obviously this is just Amazon information for March. I've done nothing at all when it comes to putting in anything for any other platforms yet. So, oh, this is actually, yeah, so just for the month. So just for the last, what, 9 days, 8 days, I've only made $155 on Amazon because, again, I have got like nothing in Amazon. So you can look and you can run it for, yearly. You could say for the whole year. This is what I've done so far this year. Again, on Amazon. Why does it still only say 155? I don't know. You can't trust anything you see here for 2022 because I've put nothing in it yet. Still working on 2021. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing. That's what I use for my accounting. I like it. It works. I've thought about doing QuickBooks, but I'm like, it really doesn't take me long. In less than 1 day, I did October, November, and December and was able to put everything in. And I sell on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 platforms. I actively sell on 9 platforms. And yeah, it really doesn't take much time at all. All right, let me see where I let off. I hate cold too. I hate it. I avoid it as well. Our local Amish are self-employed or have their own businesses. They don't work for the English. Okay, yeah, the guy who we hire, he actually works for a construction crew, and he comes and does work on the side for us. But we're actually going to hire the whole crew to come and build the pole barn. My wife had to have needles in her scalp when she lost her hair from stress at work. It did grow back. Wow, really? It was about 30 needle pricks, 3 different visits. You mean there's hope for me? There's hope to get some of my hair back? Because honestly, when I'm like this, it doesn't bother me. As my hair gets longer, my bangs get long, it starts to separate and you can start to see it a lot more. But when I get out of my car, walk into stores and the wind's blowing, blows it all back. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's not attractive at all. But I'm like, whatever. Honestly, in the long run, I don't really care. People are gonna have comments or opinions about me because of my receding hairline. Whatever. I don't know him. I'll never see him again. That was the so my daughter's doing a car shopping, and remember she called on or kept texting and came into the chat last on Monday. Well, I talked to her afterwards, and I said to her, listen, you can be a keyboard warrior right now. This is when I approve keyboard warrior. When you are buying a car, you can say whatever you want to these people because you don't know them. You're never going to see them again. Well, I mean, within reason, right? She's never going to be like completely rude, but somebody had offered her, so her car is worth $5,800. One of the places, the Kelly Blue Book, is $5,800. Somebody offered her only $1,500, and I said, just reply back, right? In person, she would feel uncomfortable saying certain things, but in an email, you can be like, "Can you double check the trade-in value? $1,500? Question mark." And it worked out because there was one of them. One of the forms. So I printed off what they sent her. So this was the company that sent her $1,500 trade-in. So her car is going to be, financing $24,000, right? So that's that one. So this one was from another dealer who she's going to end up going with, and they sent her this, which is MSRP is $22,000, and then they had all these other numbers. When you added them all up, it actually came to $23,000, but they say 26. $3,500 difference. So I'm like, you need to ask them to double check their numbers, which ended up being they were wrong. So they came back with a corrected copy. Like, it's a good thing. Good thing she has her mama looking out for her. So she's going to go with those. I got a really good, I think she got a good deal on it. But I think when you're like emailing, sometimes you can be a little more forceful with things, right? But not like, sometimes people keyboard warriors and they're, calling people names and stuff like that. That's not right. But gosh, I would go through needles in my scalp if I could get my hair back, maybe. But it's probably too long. I wonder, Beth, did she go like right after she started losing it? So my grandmother at one time lost her hair and had to wear wigs. I think actually I have some in my death pile to list. And but all of her hair came back. They don't know what even caused her to lose her hair. I wonder how long after my grandpa died did she lose it? I wonder hers was stress. They told me it was from stress. Who knows? I've tried that, like they got Rogaine for women, and I've tried that, but that stuff leaves your hair so greasy. It's like gross. So I was like, forget it. I notice I start to lose a lot of hair if I don't take my vitamins. Well, I was taking, or I still am taking, biotin for your hair, your nails, because my nails are also like, I don't know, they're always chipping. They're just not very strong. I lost a crap ton of hair from the virus. How are you doing with that, Anissa? Because they have now, they call it long virus. No, long COVID. I think they're putting money and stuff towards checking out I know New York State is putting money towards researching the effects of long COVID and people that are still having issues. They were interviewing somebody the other day who was a runner, was like in really good health, and he got COVID, and it's been like he got it like at the beginning, I think in 2020, and he can't even walk up a flight of stairs still without like breathing so hard. He still has so many breathing issues. That sucks. So Timothy, I use QuickBooks Inline for more expenses since I don't use Inventory Lab. Yeah, I think I would use QuickBooks. If I didn't have Inventory Lab, I would probably use QuickBooks. And I have really, how much is QuickBooks a month? Because I have actually thought about getting rid of Inventory Lab because I'm just not doing Amazon enough anymore to make it really worth it. But part of me is like, well, if I'm going to be paying QuickBooks and I could just keep Inventory Lab, I don't know. I mean, So far, I like my system. I like how I'm doing things and tracking stuff. It works for me. I think the biggest challenge when I first started was taking your Schedule C when you're doing your taxes, and the way that it breaks it down, like it wants to know how much your cost of advertising is. It wants to know like certain categories, your returns, like there's certain things it's asking. So you can sit there and decide on what categories to create based upon what your Schedule C is going to be asking for. So if your Schedule C is asking for, marketing, your cost of advertising, then make sure you have a category specifically for that. I used to, when I first started, I would just take my returns and subtract them from my sales. But I'm like, and then I did my taxes and I'm like, oh my gosh, they want to know that separately. I don't have that number. So now I can actually pull up that number right away and see that. So show Tamara some love. Thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you, Laura. I know I never ask you guys for that, do I? I do at the end of my travel time chit chats. I'm always like, please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up because it really does help the algorithm and people finding me. Yes, right. All right. So the dermatologist did it. So right after she lost it. Yeah, it's been like 15 years since I lost my hair. So it's probably too late. I would bet that everything is now dead and it's not going to come back. Hey, good morning, Michael. Hello, all you wonderful people. Hey, Mama. Listening while I work at my desk. Love to hear your voice. Oh, hey, Kendra. I was just telling them that you said you were watching one of my travel time chit chats. And I was talking about your car and buying a new car. How exciting. Sometimes I'd rather have a root canal, though, than to go buy a new car. Like back in the olden days, back before you could email and do some online stuff before, yeah, I would take a root canal over going to buy a car. Oh, I hated it so much. You always walk off a dealership wondering if you got taken for, or or if they got like who got the best deal. I want it to be an even playing field. They made a little money, I saved a little money. That's why usually when they give you like their first quote, I'm always like, oh no, you can do better than that. I know you can do better than that because you're never going to give me your best quote right off. When Saturn came out, I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing because their sticker price was it. There was no haggling. You would go to Saturn and you would pay what the sticker price is. Nobody saved anything. Nobody got any discounts. Nobody anything. That's the way I like it. And somebody told me that like even buying furniture, like we bought a new couch. And I'm like, I left there thinking, gosh, should I have haggled? Most likely, right? I paid the price. I don't know. So under $10 a month. Oh, it is. Under $10 a month for QuickBooks? That's it? And it tracks your mileage because I pay, I think, $5 a month for my, I use Mileage IQ. And I'm pretty sure that's like $5. So if I was to pay a little bit more, I could get QuickBooks and the mileage tracker. I don't know. I have to look into that. I'm all right losing my mind more every day. I think you've already lost your mind. I thought Etsy was a platform for homemade items. So on Etsy you can sell homemade, vintage, and supplies. So yeah, I mean a lot of things. So I have been educated recently because I have touted on here that most things can be a supply. There are some things I sell as a supply that people say if you can use it. So let's say like a blank t-shirt. So you can sell a blank t-shirt. Well, let's say you listed a blank t-shirt on Etsy and you'd be like, oh, it's a supply. People can use it to put their vinyl decals or whatever, their screen printing. You could sell blank ones as supply so people can buy them to do art crafts, tie-dye it, whatever. That is a no-no. You cannot sell, based upon the policies, anything that you can use on its own cannot be sold as a supply. So if I wanted to list buttons, right? So these buttons, you don't really use these buttons on their own. Nobody does anything with buttons on their own. So I can sell these buttons as a supply because people will use them in some type of craft project or whatever. There's no really use for a button all by itself. But a t-shirt, you can wear a t-shirt without tie-dyeing it. or doing whatever. So I still have items listed in my store that I call a supply, but really they could be taken down. So I've got like playing cards, things that people could use for decoupaging. I was selling wrapping paper at Christmas time, because, well, why not? So I just list it as a supply. What gets me are the people who list something as handmade when it's clearly not handmade. There is so much Ray Dunn and Pioneer Woman on Etsy, and people say handmade. It's not handmade. No. There was the BBC did a news thing. I think they have a show like kind of like 60 Minutes or whatever, and they did this thing that was really talking about Etsy and how people are selling things that you could buy at Walmart on Etsy. They're like drop shipping pretty much is what they're doing. And that is against the rules. I got a breaking news. I wanted to see what it said. Um, so yeah, you can sell more than handmade. Vintage does extremely well on Etsy. Yeah, it does really, really well. That's why I have so many stores. I have a store that is vintage items. I've got a store that is kind of supplies, as I list as all supplies. I don't have anything that's pretty much handmade in that one. And then I have a store that is, I've got 4 stores. So I got a store that is actually handmade items from my mom and I, mostly my mom. And then I have another store that's my print on demand and all that kind of stuff. I'm a QuickBooks Pro advisor. Oh, you are, Lisa. Hey, I was talking about you earlier, Lisa. We were talking about like courses and stuff you can take, and I mentioned that you had taken BP's course. But Laura said she took it too. I didn't. Yeah, for some reason, Laura, I guess I forgot that you had taken it. What program? Laura, Kendra, we love your mom. She's great. Oh, that's so nice. QuickBooks Self-Employed. Mile IQ is free if you have a what? No, it is not. I have a Microsoft 365 account. I pay $5.40 a month for it. Is it really? How do I get that? Because I've been paying for Mile IQ. All right, now I gotta make a list of that too. So Mile IQ, free MS 365. I gotta find that out because I do pay for Microsoft 3. Well, is it called 365? I mean, it's just so I can have email. I'm almost positive it comes in as I just sold a bra. I just sold a bra. All right, I'll look later. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I've lost it for sure. I just wish you could get some sleep. Oh my gosh, so it's been nice. And I think I touched on this a little bit, but my cat went out at like 1:00 this morning again. And I've got like a whole big chunk of sleep. Isn't that awesome? Oh my gosh. I love that my cat is going out earlier and not at like 4 in the morning and waking me up. Because once he wakes me up at 4, I have such a hard time going back to bed. And this morning I let him in and I'm like, thank you so much for staying outdoors all night long. Because when he's in, he comes in our bedroom and he like will find something on the floor to play with, or he'll start scratching the carpet on the floor and I gotta yell at him, or he jumps on the bed and he lays on our legs. I can't roll over or move. I mean, he's just a pain. I get to go to the bathroom and all I hear is crying, and oh my gosh, ridiculous. Mile IQ was my second choice, but I don't have 365. Also, I could snap shoot my receipt and list right then in QuickBooks. I'm definitely gonna have to look that up in Mile IQ. I really love Mile IQ. If you guys don't know what we're talking about when we talk about Mile IQ, it's an app you can download. Let me show you what it looks like. So it's that yellow app I got right there. Is it going away? All right, Mile IQ. What it does is it will come on, pull up. It auto classified some of my drives. So it'll pull up This is a drive I did the other day, and it pretty much says this is where you went from point A to B. Every time you like stop for a certain amount of time, not like traffic lights, but it'll pick it up. And then you can swipe left if it's a business, or right, or whatever it is. One direction for business, one direction for personal. If you do stuff like me going to the post office, it auto classifies it. So down at the bottom, you can see where it says auto classified drives, right? So it'll auto classify it. So as long as you got your phone with you, it will pick up your, like, it uses GPS to pick it up, which is funny because when I take like the UTV out on our property, when we get back, it will make me auto classify us driving through our property, which is always funny. Good morning, Mama. I find that with jewelry on Etsy, you can tell they order in bulk from China. Yes. It is so big on the Etsy boards, people talking about people who drop ship, or they'll buy something from like AliExpress, Alibaba. They'll buy that and it's a finished product. It's not a supply, but a finished product. And then they sell it as handmade. I mean, there's so many who do that. Yeah, so many. It's really too bad. And I know Etsy's raising their fees, and part of their explanation was that they want to put more money to cracking down on that type of stuff. So whether they do, we'll see. I don't know. I reported somebody the other day. So my mom sent me, I am in love with pigs, and I don't know what it is. There's some that are so cute. And she sent me these plates. Oh my gosh, let me show them to you. They're so cute. Where did you send them? Messenger? I'm debating on getting. I thought I clicked on your name and it went to Facebook. No, get over here. She sends me stuff on Messenger, and all right, not Messenger. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, here they are. Oh my gosh. Aren't they cute? Look at the little piggies. So these are Pioneer Woman ones. Oh, these aren't the ones she sent me. That's what I sent her. So they're Pioneer Woman for $50. She sent me this, which is Etsy, Chris Home Decor Shop. Go to the Etsy store. He's selling it, or he, she, whatever, is selling them for $73, and they are drop shipping from Walmart. If you read his reviews, her reviews, their reviews, there is so many people are like, hey, I love this, it's a great item, but it came from Walmart. Incredibly, and they put it as handmade. All of their items are handmade, and you can tell because they're all Pioneer Woman. They have all the Pioneer Woman stuff to them. So, like, what the heck? All right, so yes, so Linda is my mother, and Kendra is my daughter. So it is ridiculous the amount of people who are drop shipping on Etsy, and I don't know. It's just people go on Etsy because they want to support small businesses that are hand making items, or the vintage or supplies or whatever. But majority of the people go there because they want to support a small business, hand making items. And then you order something and you get it, and it's mass produced, not even around here, or around here, wherever. I don't know. Currently at work, but saw Mom was live. Love to hear her voice as I work. I know I've always said, I've told you and your brother, Kendra, that someday when I'm no longer around, you'll be able to come onto my YouTube channel and you'll sit there and listen to me talk, because a lot of times I don't talk just reselling. If you listen to me at the beginning, you'll even see tears because I was emotional at the beginning of my show. Because that is me. You get the raw Tamra. You have to link the two. Oh my gosh. Okay, I've definitely got to look for that, Michael. That Mile IQ and it being free. I have definitely got to look at that. 3 generations on here. How's Dad feeling? Did he try the edibles? Is he going to call the acupuncturist? So just so For those who weren't around when I started, I talked about my husband's back has been out. He went to the ER yesterday. They pretty much said, we can't do anything for you. They did give him a shot of tramadol, which did nothing for him. They would not do an MRI or any other imaging. They pretty much said, just go home. And, we'll give you some lidocaine back patches. It's like, come on. The VA referred him to go to the ER so he could get imaging to find out what's going on. So he's waiting for a call from the VA today to figure out what do we do? Because obviously our hospital SUCKSs and they did crap for him, and it's just really frustrating. But so he's still sleeping, right? It's 10 o'clock. I don't hear him moving, so yeah, he's still sleeping. And did he try the edibles? I did give him a THC drop, which here in New York State, marijuana is legal. So I did give him a THC drop, and I don't know if he took it last night. I said hopefully it would help you sleep. I don't know. And is he going to call it acupuncturist? He said, I talked to him about acupuncture because I was pretty sure that he had done acupuncture on a cruise ship one time, and he said it was really good. He says he didn't do it, which I'm pretty sure he did. It may have been Papa that did it. He said he did acupuncture at the VA. His VA doctor in Burlington is an acupuncturist. And so she has done acupuncture to him, but he said it did not work. Heck, I would return it if drop shipped and they stated handmade. Me too. Because you know what? Most likely they're going to refund you. Because number one, they don't want you to return it, or they definitely want to keep you happy so you don't report them to Etsy, most likely. But there was a 1-star review on that Chris's decor, whatever home decor thing, where they said that they received something and they complained I think they bought a set of something was broken, and the store was making them pay to return it. And I'm like, no, you was it you, Laura? Somebody received something recently from something on Etsy. If you buy something from Etsy, eBay, Amazon, like pretty much any of the Poshmark, any of them, and you get it broken, you should never, ever, ever pay out of your pocket to return something to the seller. Ever. You file a claim with that platform. If that seller is not going to refund you or, make it right, especially if you've sent photos showing that it's broken, then you file a claim with that platform. 100% of the time you will get a refund. I mean, I have never, ever heard of anybody not getting a refund when they've received something damaged or broken or whatever. Like, that's on the seller to get it to you in its proper care. And if it doesn't, that seller should have paid for insurance, and it's up to the seller to put a claim in on the insurance company, and all that. So yeah, I won't, I would never pay out of my pocket to return something. Heck, I would turn. Yeah, I just read that one. I have someone drop shipping my tea gift set. God bless those people who are paying $80 for it. So you know what you need to do? Do you know where they're selling that? Because you need to find out where they're selling that and start selling on that platform. That's the trick. People on eBay, in the eBay groups, are always saying, oh, somebody's drop shipping. I hate drop shippers that buy from me and it ship. And I'm always like, hey, if I'm getting what I'm asking for, great. But if you continually have somebody buying from you, and this is what they talk about in the Etsy groups, if you let's say you're he or she sells tea gift set. If you got somebody who's constantly buying from you, I'd be like, I'm going to do a search. I'm going to do an image search for my tea gift set, because they could be number one using your images also. Find out where they're selling it, and then chop it right off and sell it for what you're selling it for on Amazon on that platform. And then use the multi-channel shipping. If most of your product is being stored at Amazon, use the multi-channel shipping that we talked about on Monday and have it shipped. So you can list it on eBay. If it sells on eBay, just put like a 5-day handling, right? Time and see how long it takes Amazon to get it out the door. They move quicker on the multi-channel shipping items than they do like when you recall something. So you can do that and have it drop shipped right to that customer, because it is your item that you own. It's just being housed at Amazon. But yeah, then you can just cut their knees off, cut them off at the knees, right? Find out where they're doing it. I'm not giving them permission to drop ship. My aunt found someone doing it. Interesting. Yeah. I'm always like, hey, if somebody wants to take the time and sell my stuff somewhere else, I will 100% drop ship all my stuff on eBay. If somebody wants to go and list it somewhere else and sell it, I will do it for you. Do you need any liquid soap or bar soap when I see you this weekend? Um, I think I'm good on both counts because I still got a lot of that peppermint soap I was selling at Christmas time. Actually, I'm using a bar right now in the shower. Um, I think I'm good, but thank you for asking. And I'll let you know about Friday. I got to honestly, a lot of it's really going to depend on your father right now because if he doesn't get some relief, I'm not sure he's going to be able to handle a 3-hour trip. So we'll see how he does. Um, knowing him, he will probably do it anyhow because we got home from the hospital. He can barely move without. I mean, he's making faces and groans and everything else. And Papa came over back from Vermont from his appointments, and he's like, "Okay, I'm going to check your sap buckets, right? Because Tony hasn't been out to check them since Sunday." And Tony's just like, "I gotta show you, I gotta show you." So he like wobbles out into the garage and gets into the UTV and drives around with Grandpa. And yeah, he just was in so much pain when he got back. I'm like, you just need to stop moving. So knowing your father, he will just suffer and drive all the way down. He might be high as a kite with some THC in him. It shows my old images on their listing. Okay, so they probably been doing it for a while, and for some reason it just started selling for them to have your old images. Well, it's 10 o'clock. I need to get going. I got to go bedroom shopping with my mother-in-law. That's a good idea, Tamara. Thank you. Yeah, I would do that. I would definitely find out where they're selling. So yeah, so today at 10:30, I told my mother-in-law I would pick her up and she needs to buy a new bedroom set. So I'm gonna go probably just Ashley Furniture is pretty much all we have here. I don't know if Big Lot sells bedroom stuff. I know they sell like couches and chairs and tables, but I don't know if they got bedroom stuff. So we might go there too. There's like no furniture store except for Ashley Furniture around here. It's pretty crazy. But so I've been putting it off for a couple weeks. And I will tell you, between us squirrel friends, is my father-in-law told my husband that my mother-in-law broke down crying last week because she really misses us because since they moved out, we haven't gone over to visit and or I haven't gone over to visit and she was really missing us. And so I feel like I probably should spend some time with her. So I'm gonna go. I'm sure she's feeling homesick, right? They've lived in Vermont their whole life, picked up and moved over here, had to deal with living with us for 4 months. And I'll tell you, I had a hard time holding back things I would say, but I still said some things that I regret that I would say out loud because that's just me and who I am. Um, and they never, ever, ever said anything ever, ever that that I think they probably ever regret because they never complained about anything. They were always so thankful that they were able to stay with us while their house was getting ready to finally be closed on. So I'm sure that they are really, really just being homesick, right? Just you're away from your family and friends, and we're it. We are what they have. It's just pretty much Tony and I. So I'm going to bring her shopping today so she can get some new bedroom stuff. Yeah. So Kendra, if you get time today, well, probably later today or this evening, it probably would be a good idea if you would call your grandma and see how she's doing and just kind of give her some love. I think that would be good. Hey, good morning, Barbara. I've been using osteopathic manipulative treatment for pain with good results. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I will. A lot of it's going to be what the VA will do, but I know somebody said on actually, I think it was Christy mentioned on Victoria's show about going to a chiropractor, and I said, "Well, he's gone, but it didn't work." And she mentioned when she was having shoulder issues, I think she just kind of like suffered through the pain. I think my husband's pain tolerance, he's a big baby. Like he's a big baby. I hear him talking. I wanted to hear who he's talking to. He goes, "I'm not going to be able to make it today. I don't have a vehicle." I don't know who he's talking to. He's got his mom's car, but yeah, a lot of it will be what the VA will cover and what they'll do. And what, because we live in such a rural area, it's also like, what do they have here? Because there's just crap here. Wayfair has bedroom stuff, and Big Lots should have bed frames. Ashley is 25% off. Yeah, Wayfair is good, but I prefer to see it in person. It just makes a big difference when you can touch it and feel it and see it. And especially like Wayfair, it's such a large item, and if you got it and you didn't like it, I don't know what their return policy is. Most likely you would have to pay back. If it was buyer's remorse, I'm assuming you would have to pay it back. We had at least 4 gas stations that could not take credit cards yesterday. No one knows what was going on. Laura, I said to somebody the other day, I don't remember where I was, but I said, I'm keeping cash on hand, because one of the things that Biden was talking about a lot was that there was like this fear, or like pretty much threatening Putin, you better not, use cyber attacks and stuff like that. Well, think about if they did a cyber attack to our credit card system, so you could only pay with cash for things. And I've gone to stores before where they're like, "Oh, our system's down. We're only taking cash right now." And I've always been thankful I've had some cash on hand. So one of my winnings from a few weeks ago at the casino, $3,200, I've been keeping most of that cash in our safe here at home, because if something was to happen to that system, and or ATMs were down, or something where you couldn't even go and get money from a bank, what would you do? So I think it's a good idea to keep cash on hand right now with what's going on in the world. Go to the Malone. There are 3 furniture stores. Yeah, maybe if I drive her car. I don't want to pay for the gas out of mine, because Malone is an hour away. Catching you late today. Hey, good. By the way, good morning, midlife picker. Big Lots has some nice furniture. My daughter bought her couch there. Yeah, I'm gonna go. We'll probably go there after going to Ashley's. I'm hoping I can just convince her to find something at Ashley. Just one-stop shop. Furniture sells well at the estate sales I go to. Yeah. My cousin was selling a really nice set, and I mentioned that to her. I never heard anything from her on it. So I don't, or never heard anything from my mother-in-law on whether or not she was interested in my cousin's, because it was a really beautiful set. So we'll go. I don't really know what she's looking for. Like, I don't know. I don't even know if she wants like a new mattress and all that, or just, I know she doesn't have like a dresser. Her end tables are oddball. She's just looking for a whole new set. So, all right. See you later, Timothy. I'm heading out too, because it is almost 10:30, and I got to pick her up in 15 minutes, and I got to stop at the post office first. So thanks, guys, for stopping in this morning. I will see you guys next week. All right. Have a great weekend. Bye.